Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ringside Cinema. I am Money Mike, and today we're going to be looking at my predictions for Saturday night's main event. Ladies and gentlemen, the WWE is going all out. It will be live on Big NBC and streaming live on Peacock. They've got the stars coming out. You got Jesse the Body Ventura returning on commentary. Man, really makes you wonder, makes you really think maybe they should have held off on the Wyatts and the Final Testament for Saturday night's main event so that Jesse Ventura can commentate a Karrion Kross match. But I will be live streaming Saturday night's main event right here on YouTube. So make sure you do hit that like and subscribe button, as not only do I produce weekly wrestling content, but I will be live streaming every month leading up to WrestleMania 41. And yes, I will be live streaming AEW World's End on December 28th. As well. So let's go ahead and start with Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre. This was added back on Monday night as Drew McIntyre returned and he took out Jey Uso and he then targeted Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn then asked Adam Pearce for a match against Drew McIntyre and he got what he wished for, which you may be regretting that, in which he may be regretting that wish, because I do have Drew McIntyre winning this match. Obviously, he's coming back from that Hell in a Cell match with CM Punk, and he's going to have to get a win and start building him back up as we are on the road to WrestleMania. And if Drew McIntyre is going to factor into potentially the World Heavyweight title picture, he can start here with a win over Sami Zayn. And yes, it's kind of crazy to think Sami Zayn has reached a point that he can take a loss and he'll be okay. Like, he won't lose anything from it. So, yeah, can I just say this real quick before we move on to the rest of the card? The idea that Roman Reigns has caused so much conflict, like, in these last 4 years, like, of the bloodline, everything that's happening this Saturday is basically, or is going to be happening in the future in terms of Seth Rollins and CM Punk, is all because of Roman Reigns and the bloodline. Everyone has basically had bloodline derangement syndrome, and they've all turned on each other because of Roman Reigns. So it's crazy how this one character, one guy, Roman Reigns, has had this trickle-down effect on the entire roster, in which case we've gotten all these matches that we're getting in the current storylines. We're going to look at the Women's World Championship. It is going to be Liv Morgan versus Iyo Sky. And you know what? It took a while, but Liv Morgan is finally facing somebody for the title that is not Rhea Ripley. Now, do I think Rhea Ripley is going to play a role in this match? Probably. In which one or two things are going to happen. Either Rhea is going to try to cost Liv Morgan the match, but then she ends up costing Iyo Sky the match, or she's going to help Iyo beat Liv Morgan. And I think based off of what we saw on Raw, and Triple H, he loves throwing out these little nuggets of like hints at future matches and future storylines. Rhea Ripley, Iyo Sky for the title at WrestleMania. That could happen. You put Rhea Ripley in the Royal Rumble, I think it could happen. I think Iyo Sky is going to beat Liv Morgan. That is my official prediction. I think Rhea Ripley is going to get involved, cost Liv Morgan. I think those two will finally have their blow-off match, especially with this whole transfer portal thing coming up. I think they're going to have their blow-off match on the first Raw on Netflix. I think that could be like a no disqualification, some kind of street fight type of match, and then just Rhea and Liv tear each other limb to limb, or limb from limb, and they finally settle the feud, and then I think Liv will probably go to SmackDown in the transfer portal. And speaking of World Championships, let's go into the World Heavyweight Championship match, which has now become a triple threat match, as it was originally just Finn Balor versus Gunther, but Damian Priest was added to this match this past Monday. And honestly, I'm happy with that, because when it was originally Gunther versus Finn Balor, I think it was just too predictable that Damian would get involved, setting up a triple threat match at a later date anyway. So I think, to me, and again, I go back to what I said about Liv Morgan going to SmackDown in the transfer portal, I think they're doing the triple threat match now because of plans that they might have to move potentially Gunther if he goes to SmackDown with the World Heavyweight title, or potentially, maybe that Cody Rhodes comes to Raw with the WWE Championship and they swap titles, whatever the case may be. But it does seem as if they're trying to wrap up all the stories currently so that they can set their rosters up how they want for the transfer portal. So I think, to me, I'm going to pick Gunther to win, because there's just basically Finn and Damian cancel each other out. They're still feuding. Again, I could see them two having a one-on-one match at the Raw on Netflix before one of them goes to SmackDown in the transfer portal. But yes, Gunther will retain here. The semifinals for the Women's United States Championship is taking place on SmackDown. So as I make my predictions for who I think will be the first Women's United States Champion, it's hard to say because we have not seen the semifinals. I think the finals is going to come down to, and I know people want Chelsea Green, but I think she's kind of in the position LA Knight was in, right? Everybody wanted to see LA Knight being pushed. And it took a little bit for Triple H to do that with LA Knight. So I think Chelsea Green, I think 2025 is going to be her year. I think she's going to have her year very similar to what LA Knight had this year. So I don't think that she's going to beat Bayley. I think they're going to continue this whole thing with Bayley, Nia, Tiffany. And so I'm predicting Bayley versus Tiffany Stratton in the finals, with Bayley becoming the first Women's United States Champion. And again, for the reasons I just mentioned, she is essentially the Seth Rollins of the female division. And it's come out that she's like a locker room leader. So yeah, it makes sense that she is going to be the first Women's United States Champion. And finally, we got Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens in the main event. I said it before, I said it last week on here on the channel. I said Kevin Owens beating Cody Rhodes for the championship is the shakeup that WrestleMania season needs, because Cody Rhodes winning and taking the belt all the way to WrestleMania is kind of boring. And I was going to go the route of picking Kevin Owens, until Triple H posted a video on X where he said that Cody Rhodes, for one night only, gets to do something. He had a briefcase, which I'm assuming has the Winged Eagle in it, which would fit the whole current retro theme they're going for Saturday night's main event. So, yeah, I don't think Cody's losing if they're going to bring out the Winged Eagle for Cody to bring down and wear to the ring for this match. So, yeah. If by chance it's maybe something else, maybe maybe something related to Dusty Rhodes, and it's not the title or not the Winged Eagle that Cody Rhodes has wanted to bring back, then yeah, I could see Kevin Owens winning. Because of the implications that it is the Winged Eagle that was in that video in that suitcase, I'm going to go Cody Rhodes retains, and then I think Kevin Owens is going to move into a feud with Sami Zayn for WrestleMania season, because Kevin Owens did tell Michael Cole that he would deal with Sami Zayn teaming with the Bloodline when he gets to it. And I think Kevin Owens, getting mad that he couldn't beat Cody Rhodes, he's going to take that anger out on Sami Zayn. And that's going to set up Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn for WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes probably going to be going against Randy Orton, depending on if The Rock is actually going to be at WrestleMania or not. But comment below. Let me know your thoughts on Saturday night's main event. Who do you see winning? And do you want to see Kevin Owens win, or do you want to see Cody Rhodes retain? Comment below. I've been your host, Money Mike, and as always, you've been watching Ringside Cinema.
Ringside Cinema, where the battles roar. Ringside Cinema, legends at the core. Tune in, feel the rush. Wrestling meets the screen. Ringside Cinema, living out the dream. Living out the dream. Living out the dream. Lights down, time to go. Cheers for heroes we know. Ringside forever.